Hello and welcome in. Please take a seat. So today we're here for the IQ and personality test. Yeah. So the test is fairly simple. It consists of about 15 questions and they're mostly subjective. So there's no objective right or wrong to each question. So you don't have to worry about it. And we just want to understand better how your brain works and also your personality. Yeah, so it's very simple. You just have to answer that first comes to you, one that feels the most rational or the most intuitive. Yeah, and I'll be taking notes of your answers. And once we have your results, we'll send them via email, if that's okay with you. Perfect. So, yeah, I think we can just start. As I said, this is mainly just to get an understanding of how your brain works. Don't stress about it too much. Yep. Alright. Let's start then with the first question. Alright, so we have these 4 colors. We have pink, blue, orange, and green. First question I want to ask you is, out of these 4 colors, which one is your favorite? A, B, C, or D? Alright. Now, if you had to pick one of these 4 colors to describe your current state right now. So if someone were to ask you, how are you? And you had to answer with one of these colors, which one would you pick? A, B, C, or D? Alright. Now if I had to ask you to choose a color to represent your overall state of feeling, so not only today, but overall how you've been feeling lately, would you pick the same color or a different one? Alright, let's move on to the second. So we have 4 shapes over here: triangle, circle, square, and heart. And I'd like to start with asking you, which one of these is your favorite shape? Nice. Now again, if you had to explain how you're feeling or use one of these shapes to classify how you're feeling, which one would you choose? Alright. Now, if you had to pick one of these shapes to represent how you wish to feel, which one would you choose? A, triangle, B, circle, C, square, or D, heart? Perfect. Alright. Moving on to the next question. So here we have 4 types of weather per se. So we have sunny, storm, cloudy weather, and nighttime. I'd like to first ask you, which one of these 4 is your favorite? Now, which one do you think best resonates with you? Perfect. Alright. Moving on to question number 4. Here we have 4 different numbers. We have 7, we have 29, 48, and 11. Out of these 4 numbers, which one do you identify with the most? Alright. And which one is your favorite? Okay, perfect. Alright. Now we have 4 different arrows here. Which one would you choose to classify your life's direction right now? A, B, C, or D? Alright. And if you had to choose one to ideally demonstrate or answer how your life is going, which one would you ideally choose? A, B, C, or D? Perfect. I'll just be taking note of that. Thank you so much for your answers. Alright, I think we're ready for the next set of questions. Which one of these 4 combinations of colors do you like the most? So we have A with yellow and orange, B with dark and light blue, C with dark and light green, and D with red, orangey red, and pink. Which one do you like the most? Now, which one do you like the least? Alright. Now, if I had to ask you which of these 4 combinations best represents happiness to you, so which one of these, when you think of happiness, is closest to the color that you imagine? Yellow and orange, blue, green, or red and pink? And which one of them best represents sadness? Okay. What about love? Alright, perfect. Now, moving on to question number 7. If you had to choose one of these t-shirts to wear, which one would you choose? We have A, B, C, and D. If you just had to, tomorrow you wear one of these t-shirts, which one would you rather? A, B, C, or D? And which one is the ugliest to you? You'd rather not wear? Alright. Now, question number 8. So we have a pattern here going on, where we have one square that is full. Moving on, and I want to ask you, which of these squares do you think, by following the order, should be the one that is full or painted? Which one of these squares do you think should be painted in order to follow this order? Perfect. Alright, now we also have an order here, starting from 1, 2, 3, 5, and 9. Can you predict what number should go next? Take as much time as you need. There is a sequence here, so you have 1, 2, 3, 5, and 9. What number should be next? Great. Now, we have a list of 4 numbers here. 1 over 4, 1 over pi, 4 over 1, and pi to the power of 1. Which of these numbers is the lowest? Perfect. Now, which one of these is the biggest? Perfect. Now I'll be just writing down your answers. You did great. let's move on to the next set of questions. And the last one. Alright, question number 11. Which one of these lines is the longest? A in pink or B in blue? Which one of these is the longest? A or B? Is it A or is it B? Perfect. Now we have four triangles, A, B, C, or D. I want you to answer which one you think has the biggest area. Yeah. Perfect. Which one do you think has the lowest area? D, C, B, or A? And which one do you think has the biggest perimeter? Alright, perfect. Question number 13. We have two paths, A and B, and we have to go from local A to local B. Which one do you think takes the least amount of time? So path A, where you go like this, or path B, where you go like this. Which one do you think is the shortest way? A or B? Perfect. Moving on to question 14. If I were to ask you to draw a circle, which one do you think your answer would look the most like? A, B, C, or D? Now, which one do you think looks like the most perfect circle? A, B, C, or D? Okay. Now for the last question. Which one of the lines do you think is the longest? A or B? So we have A and we have B. Which one do you think is the longest? A or B? Perfect. I'll just be taking notes of your answers. And yeah, so this was it. Thank you so much for participating. As soon as we have the results, we'll send them to you via email. And yeah, you did great. Thank you so much again for joining us. Hope you have a lovely night. Bye.